rated T to M. Hey, want to hear a PC Game Pass ad? I'll take your silence as a yes. Want new games on day one like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 or Stalker 2? I thought so. How about unlocking all the League of Legends champions when you link your Riot Games account? All for one low monthly price? Well, guess what? We got you. Learn more at xbox.com/PC Game Pass or click the banner. Stalker 2 available November 20th, 2024. Game catalog varies by region and over time. And that's the end of the script.
Reverend, we have someone on the phone who says she knows you quite well, says she's a member of your family and has great love for you, Annette Bernard, and I've been together with the two of you, and to see the relationship as special as is, which you have in all of the family, it's not just with one person. It says much about you, but she occupies a special place in the CCC, Christian Cultural Center family, because of the work she does.
Yeah, she is actually the director of all of our community services, our food services, our outreach program. She is very full-time, and it takes a lot of effort on her part, just keeping up with the demands and building the relationships, the grant writing, organizations. We're feeding close to over 120,000 people a year, and supplying food for smaller pantries and other organizations. So I'm glad to have her on the program with us. Annette, welcome to the Rev and the Rabbi.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
So, on-site and distribution, how does it work at CCC? Do people come there also to receive, and you also provide to others?
Annette, it's all yours. You're going to make your dad proud.
I'm definitely going to try. But yes, we do have on-site. We take care of the community. Anybody that comes in and says that they need, we come in and we take care of them. And these days, we're trying to work smarter, not harder, and kind of partnering up with other organizations around the city and trying to help them solve their food insecurities in their neighborhoods, and teaching their community people how to rely on resources closer to them, but more importantly than that, to empower them to do for themselves and their families so this doesn't become a generational thing. We want to be able to feed people who are in need, yes, always, and I love that we're able to do that. But our bigger call, I believe, is to teach people how to rely not on the services that are available, but to use those as leverages, as stepping stones, so that they can take care of their families and that their children can see that. And it's not something we pass down from generation to generation. We don't want to do that.
Let me ask you and Annette. People use the phrase food insecurity.
Right.
And it is just painful to hear that in our country that has so much, there are those who have so little.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have food insecurity is not exactly a good commentary as to who we are as a country. How is it? How is that possible when so much is given to so many others in other countries that we don't prioritize those who are here?
And Annette, I'm going to let you answer first, and then I'll chime in.
Okay, so yes, right. I agree with that, but I don't want to put it all on the system, right? I think that we as people need to take responsibility for what we do ourselves. And so when we set priorities that are not in line with making sure that family eats first or that a mortgage is paid first, and you want to be flashy or you don't want to budget yourself the right way, that plays a big role into why things are the way that they are for particular families. But yeah, we will as a country, as I'll speak of just, New York or the section of New York that we're in, there are several services for people that are coming out of that are not citizens of this country, and they seem to get them faster. I can't speak to why that is, but I know that to handle it on our end, what we can control is making sure that we utilize the services appropriately from what we're given. Betty, anything you want to add to that?
Well, you're making me proud. You're talking like a conservative, which I am, and it seems to have been passed on to my family because, I mean, we have to be careful. We don't want to blame the victims. We don't want to blame the poor, but at the same time, we don't want to put all the blame on the system. it takes both. It takes systemic changes to address these issues within our society, but we also have to point to personal responsibility and changing what people do and how they conduct themselves, the choices that they make. So you brought a beautiful balance, and you make me proud. Now, let's reflect on it, because at one point we were feeding about 25,000 people. Then COVID came, and all of a sudden those numbers exploded, especially in partnership with LDS. Just talk a little bit about that partnership and how it shifted to so many more people being fed.
Yeah, so we have a fantastic partnership with LDS, and that allowed us to not only service who we were already servicing, but to do, I'm never in favor of quantity. I'm in favor of quality. So it empowered us, CCC, to be able to service the family at large. So that means that if a family was coming in and they had a family of 7, we were able to service them for whatever days we said that we were going to service them for the entire family of 7. Nobody had to go hungry. If a family of 2, we were able to fully service them for the family of 2. Also, looking at those resources and being really very strategic on how we allocated these monies or these food items, it enabled us to take in more families to do just that. And there's where we started the partnerships with either the schools. We have several schools under our belt that we were able to help them start their own food pantries so that it would lessen the line that we had, so that we were able to do the quality that we were looking to do. And that partnership has really stretched us to really, and I would venture to say, without looking at the numbers right now, that 120,000 mark is really more like 150,000.
Wow.
I'm glad to hear that you talked about assumption of responsibility, because it's very easy to point fingers all over. And I think all of us have to look and say, what more can we do? And what you pointed out is that the food pantry is not the end of the line. It's also an opportunity now to say to people, what are you going to do so you don't have to come back to a food pantry?
Right.
What are you going to do for your family? And people have to look within. So it's all of us looking and saying we could do more. The Rev and I were at a distribution of turkeys this past week. And there were a number of people, they're elderly, I would say for the most part, who were waiting to receive one turkey. Yeah. And it was very, very touching, because it's if you were giving them such a generous gift, and you were giving them one turkey, which was nice, but you wonder what else is missing in their lives, because these are people in pain. And we have to do whatever we can so we can say, we've done our share. We fulfilled our others have to assume responsibility. So do we. Yeah.
And it was inspired, if I may say, by John Katzmatidis and Margot, who are owners of our radio station here, who just have an incredible heart to help people. And in collaboration with Catholic Charities, FDNY, NYPD, and several other organizations. And I think that's reflective of what it's going to take to address these issues.
I agree. I agree. It's a collaboration of several organizations of coming together. I want to comment on something, if I may, where Rev, you just said a little while ago about the seniors who are on our pantry lines. I like to point out that's true, right? We do also have a lot of seniors that are on our line, and there are several reasons why they're on there, right? But if you talk to the bulk of seniors, medication is so high. They can't afford to feed their families or feed themselves and take care of their medication. And I am so proud to say that at Christian Cultural Center's Food Pantry, we really focus on giving quality food so that seniors can lower their can higher their health benefits by eating healthier. And that's a really important aspect of the way that we serve. We're not just going to be serving, sugary things or Kool-Aids or things that are not healthy. We're going to be really going after fresh fruits and vegetables all year long to give to our seniors, and then recipes so that the senior can learn, if this is a foreign fruit or vegetable to them, how they can learn to incorporate this into their diet. And the goal there is to make their prescriptions much lower, to get those blood pressures lower, to get those diabetes numbers lower, so that they don't have to depend so much on the pharmaceutical system, so that they can live healthier, longer lives.
Wow.
Let me ask you a question that the Rev very often asks guests. Talk about the role of faith. Obviously, here you are in the Bernard family. And faith is very, very important. It's, work done by the Christian Cultural Center. Talk about your own faith, your own path and faith.
So I'd have to say that certainly without my family, but without my faith, I would not be here today in the state of mind that I am in today. Life is life for everyone, right? And I'm passionate about I'm really very passionate about the work that I do, because I myself was on that side of the pantry line. And so I know personally firsthand what it felt like to be treated as if I was not a human, with no dignity, with no respect. And so, my lifelong work has been to treat others the way I was not treated, and so that they would never have to go through something like that. So I'm very passionate about the way that I treat people, and the way that I serve people. And then as I grew in my faith, I saw that, I can't do life without God. I can't do anything without having my faith at the center, because I would have broken a long time ago. And then my latest heart tragedy, when my husband passed away, there was no way that I could have ever picked myself back up and kind of just went through what I went through and remain sane, or able to help someone else in the same situation without my faith. Yeah. So it has really been the core of my existence. The deeper I walk this relationship, and the deeper I get into my relationship with Christ, the better I see things, the better I can handle things, the better life ultimately that I have. And I could not do it. I could not have done anything without my faith.
Annette, thank you so much. Just great. Rabbi, you have a wrap-up question?
Yeah, over the years, Annette, I become an honorary member of the Bernard family. I don't know if they wanted me, but somehow I become a member. And to see how all of you do so much for so many people is really to me, is such a manifestation of who you are as a proud Christian. And that is something that I hope brings you fulfillment. And also, talking about your personal story, interestingly, in Jewish tradition, the Talmud, which is the explanation of the Torah, starts on page 2. There's no page 1. And I've often felt that maybe there's a message there that sometimes you have to learn how to begin on page 2. Page 1 is taken from you. And you're one who certainly is an example of beginning again. When you were born, you began life. But Annette, you also taught us you have to learn how to begin again sometimes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amen.
Annette, you made your dad proud.
I'm so happy.
You can come home tonight.
Thank you.
I love you, dear. Have a great evening.
I love you too, Daddy.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Eden Memorial Chapels understands Jewish funerals can take many forms. Some are Orthodox, while others are more conservative or of a Reformed nature. There's no one better. With services close to all New York and New Jersey cemeteries, Eden Memorial Chapels offer fair and balanced pricing and can provide easy transfer of you and your loved ones to Israel. While you're grieving, they're here to take care of all the details so that you deal with less bureaucracy and have more peace of mind. Go to EdenMemorial.com. That's EdenMemorial.com.